on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Welcome in. We're on day 7 of the subathon, and today we're doing a little bit of a spontaneous reaction. Today we're going to be watching the sad story of Angron. So, yeah, look forward to that, chat. Look forward to that. And thank you so much, NDK, again for the 5 get the subs. Thank you, thank you. You pushed our timer up to 6 hours. Hopefully we can see day 12 today. I have hope. You know, this is like the lowest amount we started with today, so YouTube, yes, YouTube is in. Hello, YouTube. Welcome in, welcome in. Alright, let me go ahead and pop out. Let me go ahead and pop out the chat here. And let me go ahead and add the chat over here. Okay, so it's been a little... where the fuck is my dogs at? Okay, alright, there you go. YouTube. Pin, thank you so much for reminding me of Pin that. Okay, cool. Alright, so we have about 40 minutes to hang out today, and after that we have a collab, so... Sorry, I'm drinking my protein shake. Alright, chat, let's go ahead and recap day 7 of the Donathon. So, we reached all of our main goals, chat. Thank you guys so much for your support. Our top donor is Armchair. In second place, our top donor is Mac Attack. And in second place is Armchair. And in third place is a Legend. So, if anyone's interested, top donor gets to, decide my new emo prefix. They also get to choose a cover for me. They get VIP in Discord and Twitch for 1 year. And those are all the top donor goals. We're currently really close to the Mochi does the chat tier list stretch goal. This is the next coming stretch goal, and let me see how far we are from it. I don't have my sheets open anymore. It's the only thing I don't like about restarting my computer. I had to reopen everything, and I'm not very... I don't have it all together right now. Okay, let's see. Okay. We're about $362 away from the next Dono Go chat. So if anyone's interested in doing a chat tier list, that's the next one. And yeah, I think that's everything we had to talk about. We did a really quick speed run of that. Did everyone have a good sleep last night? How was your sleep, chat? I kind of slept like shit, which I guess is why we started streaming so late today, but... oh god, I'm basically setting every night review for the whole week. I think they were right. They said it's Stockholm. No, it's not Stockholm, chat. It's not, no. Don't worry, we're halfway through, chat. Don't let the chatters that say it's only day 2 of subathon trick you. Don't let them trick you. Hello, welcome into the stream. Welcome. That's up good. I'm glad to hear you guys had good sleep, chat. It's been very fun for one of the coolest events of Animated one. Thank you, MDK. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying spending every waking moment together. Alright, mods, can we change the category over to Warhammer? And yeah, let's go ahead and get started on this video. Go ahead and see. Enter a pretty deep coma today the moment you touched your head to your bed. Oh, okay, that sounds like a really good sleep. Sounds like you're in a deep sleep. The stream yesterday was very fun. Thank you, every squids. I slept okay. Yeah, I work now. Hope you have a good day at work today, John. No, we will not. We like it here. And some ice cubes like it here. Hello, Mochi. Hello, Maruko. Welcome into this stream. Welcome in. Today we're going to be watching the sad story of Angron. So I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, it's been a while since we watched Warhammer because I've been in the fucking mines every day, chat. But but now we're back and we can go ahead and lock in. Okay, alright, where the heck is this here? Angron. So I've heard chat said he has like the saddest story, so I'm excited to learn more. Learn more about his story, but give me a second right now. Taking some time to bring it up. There you go. Okay, so it's about 25 minutes long. Alright, let's go ahead and try this out. Oh, she's sorry, I didn't even know my music was on. Okay, there you go. Alright. Should we do audio checks or anything, chat? We probably should, I guess. Okay, here. Let me know how the audio sounds. Wah. This is me talking. Okay. This is me talking. Is there any audio? Do you guys hear anything? Maybe there's no audio. Do I not hear anything? I don't hear anything. Yeah, okay, I don't hear anything. I think I know why. Okay, I gotta turn on my audio drivers. Okay. There you go. Can you hear audio? Is there audio? Oh, okay, I guess I can hear the audio. Okay, here you go. Okay, sounds good. Okay, cool. Alright. Alright, chat. Let me go ahead and start the recording. Alright. Oh, what's up? Welcome to another Warhammer React. Today, I'm gonna be learning about the sad story of Angron. A lot of my chatters are saying that Angron is their favorite character, and he does have a tragic story. So I was curious about what it was about. So I guess today's the day we find out about it. All right, let's go ahead and start the video. Let's start. She says so happily. Well, you know, I just woke up. You know, I started my day, so I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good. But we'll see if I get sad from the story. I hope not, but I get sad pretty easily. Okay, let's go ahead and start the react. Chat asks, who is the tragic story in Glitch Stars? I don't know. Answer these questions. It's too hard for me to think. All right, let's go ahead and start the sad story Angron. I'm really excited. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play.
A child awakens on a dusty mountain. He doesn't know where he is, and thusly he is confused. He is injured. And because of this, he is greeted by men on horses with weapons that sting and prod and poke. The weapons knock the child out, and he awakens once more in a cavernous pit. Many dirty and vicious-looking men are there, bedecked in tattoos and ritual scarification.
Wait, are they making the child fight?
On most of them is a rope of twisting black and red bands going down the length of their spine and then curving up towards the rest of their body. They're preparing for something, and the child is forced to do so as well. The Devil's Tears is the name of the event, or at least he learns that's what it is called. In this cave-like structure, these warriors gather, and the child follows.
This is kind of barbaric.
Where he is directed. Knowing no malice to any one of these individuals, he simply obeys to try and understand where he is, and what exactly is going on. Following the marching lines of gladiators, he follows them up worn-down stone stairs.
Okay, they didn't make the child fight.
A sun-soaked, dusty
okay, maybe I spoke too early.
The voices of a crowd who is watching from on high. The voices are unknown to the child as he doesn't speak their language, but he follows the other gladiators by example, and they go to this platform. Several large stone blocks stacked increasingly small size to form a small pyramidal structure.
This is beautiful art.
The center of this massive dust-covered arena is in the center. The men begin to pool into the center, and the second the last individual steps onto the bottom rung of this massive pyramid-like platform, the area begins to flood with a brackish green liquid, the same consistency of water, but with an ominous
That's in my room too.
And sizzle
Mold.
to it. The smell is what hits the child first. Acrid,
oh, this is actually my room.
This isn't just water. As an arena hazard, it's something acidic. This is confirmed once the liquid has started to pool and elevate stage by stage up. And that is when the first of the gladiators is thrown into the pool. The space becomes crowded as the water level rises on the ascending pyramidal steps of the platform, and people begin to fight to keep on to the platform, throwing people into the water, which results in screaming, burning. The smell of singed and rancid meat fills the air as the child looks on nervously.
Holy shit.
This is when he
this
realizes
guy might need
that
therapy,
not only
the child.
is he stronger than all of these men, even in his small
Never mind, he's a goat.
He's in fact faster and smarter, recognizing the suffering that these men go through simply by dying in the acid. He breaks the necks of those that try to fight him so they die instantly before throwing them into the acid. One after another, the child ends life after life, trying to make it quick and painless, though showing no fear in the process. Eventually, it is just
this guy is the main character.
This mound, the last one of over 3 dozen men that came out there. A drone, mechanical in nature, the shape of a worm with a large eye in the center, flies up to him and asks him a question. He doesn't understand the language of the person speaking, but a decision is made for him. Through context clues, he realizes they are naming him. As the crowd begins to chant this child's name that he has earned in this arena, he realizes that this is hell. A place he should not be. The crowd chants over and over and over again. His name, his new name for his new home. Angron is the name they are chanting.
It's him!
Hello everyone, I'm Arthur, and I thought
that
I
was a
should
cool opening.
introduce this video differently, as this topic is a bit serious to me. I know a lot of you have been commenting that I'm ducking the Angron video, but here it is.
Angron.
For those who don't know, this is part 11 in a 20-part series I am doing covering all of the primarchs, and me breaking down them a bit more in
I
depth
started
than
in the
other
middle
people
of it.
usually would,
I'll have
and
to
try
check out the
give a
other
different
ones.
angle as to how you could view them. Do you need to have seen the other parts to understand this one? No, but
Okay,
it
cool,
would
cool.
make me happy. There are
Yeah, I
several
got you,
reasons
bro.
as to why
I'll go back.
I started this specific series covering the primarchs, but the main one was a conversation I had with a close friend of mine. I mentioned I always was just kind of annoyed with Angron at the time, and he mentioned to me that, and I quote, "Yeah, it's really sad that he's less of a character and more of an allegory for the cycle of physical abuse," to which made my synapses flare
Whoa.
like I was about to have a Jimmy Neutron-style brain blast. That, plus me talking
neurons
about the line for a
activate.
few days straight before this all started, was what made me want to make this list. I want to talk about other primarchs, but Angron is one that I've been fixating on for months now. Angron took a bit longer for me to research than the research cycle of the other primarchs, and thus we are here to talk about him and what I think about him, and why I think he deserves a better reputation than he currently has. I mean, he's not a good character, but he is a good event. So to give a shorter synopsis of the rest of Child Angron's childhood, we started earlier. He was forced to fight for years on end for the entertainment of a group known as the High Riders of New Syria. Being raised by a kind and wise older gladiator to be just and noble, which were actually key concepts to Angron as a whole even before then, it seemed that kindness was very natural to him. So basically, after securing nothing but victories, he was eventually told to fight his father figure immediately after the two of them being battered and bruised by two ogrins with the butcher's nails embedded into their brains. He said no, but he also told off the High Riders and their maggots-eyes drones.
As he should.
Which
What the
led to
F is
him
wrong with
being
these people?
sedated and forced to have the butcher's nails implanted in his brain. So, the interesting part here is that the butcher's nails were made for humans, so they can be used on humans, and you can survive pretty much indefinitely with the butcher's nails in. It won't be an easy life, and you'll probably succumb to madness, but you will be able to survive. Even abhumans can live for quite a long time. But Primarch brains are significantly different from the stock standard human. So because of that, the High Rider surgeon, made it fit, removing sections of Angron's brain and squeezing in as many of the needly dreadlocks as humanly possible to make it work. It did, sorta, turning him into a massive berserking monster that lost all control.
Holy
and he couldn't
shit.
think straight, so there really wasn't much in terms of the thinky planny bits that he normally
Like,
would
having
do
nails
going
in your
on.
brain sounds pretty painful to me.
He did what he could. Just as a
Lobotomy.
heads up, I think this video is going to be a bit longer than normal, so get strapped in, as I have a lot to say.
Are you guys
With all
strapped
that
in, chat?
preamble out of the way, there are 3 sections to this video that I want to cover. I've already done technically the first half.
We're starting our
of
day
part
today
1,
watching some
which
Warhammer
is I
lore.
want to
Good
cover
morning.
the backstory of Angron as to why he's an integral figure and who he is as a person. Then, after
Oh shit, my fucking phone died. What the fuck? I'm trolling. I'm so sorry. What? Wait, how did my phone die? No. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna need this. I need to be wobbling in the corner. Give me a second to charge this. Sorry, editors. You guys are gonna need to make this seamless somehow. And hello, Mac Attack. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? I'm doing well. We just woke up and just started. I'm drinking a little bit of a protein shake. It's a little bit watered down because I ran out of juice and stuff, but oh, we have it. Your brain doesn't have any pain receptors. That's why you can't open. That's why you can have open brain surgery. Really? Wow. Wait, where the fuck do headaches come from then? Where do headaches come from? My brain receptors. Actually, my brains have receptors, isn't it? I'm good. You're about to eat dinner. Have a great time at dinner, Mac Attack. Enjoy it. And hello over to you guys in YouTube. Welcome in, Boston, bro. Welcome in. Today we're doing some Warhammer reactions, but currently I'm waiting for my phone to turn on because it turned off a bit, so it's a little it's a little bit scuffed, chat, a little bit scuffed. But hey, we're here, Okay. Okay, there you go. The muscle in your head are what cause headaches. Oh, I get it now. Okay, cool. All right.
Story of Angron as
Oh, sorry. Okay, there you go. All right, my phone's back on. Sorry, chat. I didn't realize I felt like it fucking exploded, dude. Are you a bot humanoid? That sounds like such a bot question. Alright, y'all, let's go ahead and continue the video. For those that just came in here, normally I do reacts. I don't respond to chat as often as I normally do, just because I don't want to interrupt the video too much. So if it seems like I'm ignoring you, I'm not. I'm reading everyone's messages, so. Alright, welcome back, thank you guys. Welcome me back. I'm here and I'm wobbling. Okay, let's go ahead and continue the Warhammer video. Alright, we're gonna start it from here.
the first half of part 1, which is I want to cover the backstory of Angron as to why he's an integral figure and who he is as a person. Then, after that, I want to cover how he interacted with his legion and how that led to, you know, the whoopsie-poopsie that was the Horus Heresy. And then finally after that, I want to talk about where he is now, what my conclusions are, and the major point that I want to talk about. So strap in, this is going to get incredibly depressing. But before I do that, let me just pay my bills really quickly. When I'm slaving away in the gladiatorial pits I call my basement, where I have to fight off corgi-sized rats with nothing more than a dehydrated Subway sandwich, I needs me an energy boost from time to time. But what if I wanted to relax with something that didn't give me a pep in my step, and I just wanted something that tasted good? Well, GamerSupps has many different caffeine-free options that are genuinely tasty. I picked up the caffeine-free nuclear bombsicle from that lovable queso last month, and it's been kind of my go-to drink of choice when I'm feeling something sweet.
I only know
but don't
queso
want
from the
to
Dress
grab a
to Impress
soda.
arc.
So
that was pretty good.
My code BONEZONE at checkout will, for a limited time, give you free shipping, which ends this Friday
worldwide.
the 13th. So you should probably jump on that before you're too late. Grab yourself a shaker cup,
I might be like 2 years late to this. I don't know
what you got, because I that shit like a hawk. Thanks again to GamerSupps for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to talking about something incredibly depressing.
The never-ending downward spiral.
Angron is a character I think about a lot. I'm gonna say that sentence a lot as we progress, because in general I think he is a character worth studying. Now, look at me being a pseudo-intellectual and trying my hardest to sound all big and bad, but in the short run of things, I'm literally just an idiot. I am just a faux intellectual who is trying to make my point seem interesting enough that you will possibly go back and look at Angron in a different way, and in the process just making a whole lot of noise. I don't think I'm saying Angron's tale in any way different from how most people would nowadays, but I want to make a video that does him justice. I mean, in a reductive way, it's not really that entertaining for me to just say, yeah, Angron was abused by power-obsessed lunatics, so he abused his sons, and now his sons abuse the universe. It's not really that clever for me to say so, but there are so many elements to break down. So, let's get into it, and start with his legion. He is probably
really
the only
about
primarch
him.
to have
I only know that he's like angry.
most of his legion fucking hate him. He was a monster of a man, though it isn't without reason. So, once he was out of the High Riders' arena and waged his own personal war with a few slaves he took with him, he ended up basically putting himself into a situation where he was going to be killed. The reasons why are a bit all over the place, but it was a mixture of him feeling constant pain from a partial lobotomy and the butcher's nails being implanted, and him just wanting to die a warrior's death with the people he called his family after the death of his father. So that didn't happen, because as Angron and his men were dying, the Emperor pulled him up into his own ship right before he could fight, and instead of taking time to bring Angron to heal, he just, like, shipped him off to the Conqueror, which was the flagship of the Warhounds at the time, and
Fodder
just
of the year,
kind of
guys.
hoped the Warhounds would kind of set him straight, because they were his gene children. It
To be
kinda
fair, he has, like,
well,
18
after sending
sons.
about half a dozen different delegatory forces to go meet Angron, they started to realize their Primarch shouldn't be turning his sons into a viscous red paste on the ground whenever he sees them. So they ended up sending Karn. And Karn convinces his dad to work with them, almost dying in the process and appealing to his warrior spirit, essentially, to do so. So this marks where Angron takes control of his legion, and it leads to one of the key features of his legion, which is the countdown timer. See, Angron is a slave to the past. He is a slave to Nuceria, the planet he was raised on, especially the traditions he adopted on that planet. So in reference to how him and his escaped slaves would burn High Rider cities to the ground, Angron put in a rule where whenever there was a world that the World Eaters would try to bring into compliance, they would have to do so in a single Nucerian day, which is 31 hours. Failing to do so would lead to punishment before he would take the reins and then start to attack the world himself. These punishments were usually decimation at best, which is insane to think about how cruel Angron truly was because of this, because they can go way worse than that. But Angron didn't care. His legion began to try to work out where
That's crazy.
they
When
would get the
decimation's
butcher's
like a
nails from
mercy.
and how they could recreate them so that they could be more like their father, in hopes that he would become more lenient with them. He even encouraged them to do so that he could refer to them as his sons. But it was also because the nails that were digging into his brain were actually melting the parts of his brain away that could think of the nails in any negative light. It was also slowly eroding away all of his positive emotions in place of rage. In essence, the creation of the nails was the final nail in the coffin that was the World Eaters, as they became no more than a horde of butchers and monsters afterwards, with I think well over 90% to 99% of the Legion being forced to incorporate them, and with only a few stragglers on the side who are incompatible with the nails, alongside the, librarians who can't have them, being the only ones who didn't take them. The Legion afterwards, even with the nails embedded, was still left divided, as it's often reported the Legion with the highest amount of defectors during the Horus Heresy was the World Eaters, because most of them just didn't want to engage in Angron's insanity and decided to defect to the side of the Loyalists. Angron was getting worse. Angron's brain was constantly being pulled on and ripped apart because his Primarch abilities make it so that his brain tissue could just heal over any damage over time, but the nails were constantly there to cause small tears in the brain. So this mixture of constantly creating open wounds
nails are
to cause
painful.
pain and constantly healing faster than the wounds can really
These nails
be made
seem awesome to me. What's wrong with you, chat? What?
Feedback where the nails have pieces of brain starting to grow onto them and be attached, which causes the wounds that the nails create to become greater and greater and greater, ripping larger and larger holes in Angron's brain, causing blackouts, hallucinations, violent mood swings, and him to become even more of a stark, raving, mad lunatic. He was starting to forget. He was starting to lose himself in those hallucinations to the point where even before the World Eaters had fully incorporated the nails, he had to be knocked unconscious by about a half dozen librarians just because he went into a feral rage as one of the cables snapped on his head. It leads to one of the saddest moments I've ever seen. Just this long-running pathway of Angron's life and his relationship with the nails, where in a stroke of genius writing, Angron is forced to fight Rabute Gilliman, which, if you look into it, there are no two more opposite Primarchs that had a very similar kind of base personality. Both Angron and Gilliman were very noble souls when they were young, but it differentiates when you get to how they were treated. It's very nature versus nurture, where there's this interaction between the two during this fight that highlights something that I kind of want to dig into, so put a pin in this, we'll come back. It's stated in several books, at least in terms of implication rather than directly stating it, that Angron basically doesn't care. He essentially just has, well, not to diagnose as a non-professional, but he has depression. He states openly in, I believe, the short story After Deshea that he left his soul on New Syria. He left himself on New Syria. The person we see throughout the entirety of our acknowledgement of his existence is not Angron, but pieces of Angron appear when he realizes what he is. Angron isn't happy with himself. He doesn't want to be a berserker. He never would. But he has rode out this path for so long that it's all he knows, and all he wants to do is die and have it end. So there is no going back. It's this ladder theory that I bring up, where at a certain point of climbing a ladder, you can't really jump off without hurting yourself. So Angron is so far down this path of bloody destruction that most people know him as a berserker, and he can't stop because, well, how could he? So because of this, we only see glimpses of Angron's true personality when he's allowed to have these moments of lucidity. And there was this moment when Angron was fighting Guilliman where Angron just bellows in envy and resentment towards Guilliman, saying that if the shoe were on the other foot, he would be exactly like Angron. It has nothing to do with nobility. It is just the circumstances of their birth were different. He is upset that
I feel like the world he was born into is pretty
to him as
fucked,
the Great
which
One.
is why he's
Meanwhile, the people of Angron's world of New Syria referred to him as slave, referring to the butcher's nails for probably one of the rare few times as one of the most negative things to have ever happened to him by referring to it with such blunt terminology as they carved up his brain with butcher's knives. It's crazy how much you can actually see the hate and resentment in his tone just by reading that small monologue. But with all that being said, these moments of lucidity don't ever give us a perfect picture of what Angron would have looked like without the nails, and we will never know what Angron would have been like, as when we cut to him now, in the present day, due to Lorgar preventing his warrior's death, Angron is now a demon prince of Khorne, a bloody murderer who does nothing but fight, feel rage and pain, and be a slave to his primal instincts, and he can no longer be anything but that. The one thing that he wanted to never be as a child is the one thing that he will always be now. And that's what he is, a slave. He's a slave to Khorne, he's a slave to rage. He is nothing but killing incarnate, and he's the exact opposite of that innocent boy that was on the dusty mountains that was originally the beginning of this story. To get to my conclusion and wrap this up, I like thinking about Angron before he was a murderous gladiator controlled by the nails, because in that you see what he was supposed to be. See, a lot of people think he seems like he was meant to be a chill guy or a noble warrior, but if you look at the Warhound's combat tactics and a few of the things that they say, you realize that they were still pretty war-obsessed as a legion before he showed up. But to point it out, their combat style lines up with how Angron as a child was. Taciturn and observant, slow and plodding, methodical but without being callous. They have firm beliefs of brotherhood and believe that combat is the best way in order to foster brotherhood. The perfect warrior, the perfect battle brother, but we never got to see much of that as Angron ended up losing himself. Like, a good example of this is one of the most intimidating things during the Great Crusade. It was stated in a few books that it was never the berserking charges of Leman Russ or the fanged angels of the Revenant Legion. It was the silent and moving assault that the Warhounds were known for, where in large and wide formations of soldiers with nothing but melee weapons and small arms, would actually make their way forward on a battlefield, moving slowly with shields and swords, grinding their way through individuals, and it's openly stated that they never move faster than a light walk. They would never sprint or run.
Damn.
And I always thought that was super interesting because alongside that, they would never yell. They would never have these berserker charges because they would just simply cut off people and then rip them to pieces like a pack of wild dogs if they ever got close enough. They would never run people down. The Legion, much like Angron, was one of empathy but also stoic defiance, much more so than berserker ragers that they ended up becoming, and we only ever get to see a few scant glimpses of this, but alongside that we only ever get to see a few scant glimpses of this weird psychic ability that Angron had, his weird primarch power of supreme empathy, the ability to take away someone's pain and feel it himself. I don't think it's ever fully expressed what this is or what the final part of it is, because the portion of his brain that had it is probably gone now.
No, why did we freaking do lobotomy?
I think that it's more important to point out that Angron, he's no longer here. And I'm not saying that because Demon Prince Angron took his place. No, it goes
I feel like he's like a husk of himself.
Angron died before any of this, before he was even found by the Emperor. Long before the Horus Heresy even broke out, Angron died after Deshea. It's just his body didn't know. I'll leave you all with one of my favorite facts, and it's not commonly talked about, but did you all know that Angron actually made attempts on his own life? One of the only Primarchs to actually do so, only being beaten out by
I was gonna say, sounds like he wants to die. Like, this is sad.
Relatively short into his tenure as the Primarch to a bunch of random feral worlds with massive dinosaurian style monsters on it. It took Karn, his equerry, over 18 months to find him, and when he did, he got a glimpse as to what Angron was, as in a moment of lucidity. He could see Angron without the madness, which is kind of bizarre knowing the situation. Angron was found naked in some backwater planet's cave, surrounded by tribal fetishes and offerings from the local populace, as well as massive skulls from monsters that Angron had killed with his bare hands. Karn looked at Angron and simply asked, "Why are you here?" And Angron replied in a way that made me feel a certain way that I can't fully describe. He came here to die because he didn't want to live without his brothers and sisters from New Syria, and his life will never be the same. He described the constant ticking in his brain and the pain he was constantly feeling, but he realized that he would never want to be a coward and take his own life in his own hands. So he wanted to find a monster big enough that could finally destroy him. And he never did. And he never will. Karn talked him off of that ledge, but I think there was honestly no one to talk off. Angron is an empty shell. He is not a person. He is not a character. I think Angron is better looked at as an action. He's a bomb that goes off in a room. He is like a living storm, something that can be observed.
He used to be a person.
The best way to see Angron is he is a story. And it's why partially I agree with the kind of shit he takes that Angron is the worst Primarch and he's like a bad character. And yeah, he is genuinely not really a good character in terms of writing and in terms of if you look at him from the perspective of a character, but he is a good story. Thank you all for watching, and I want you to let me know in the comments what you think of Angron, and if I've changed your mind on him as a character, or rather as a story. I have genuinely been sitting on this video for a while, and I know a lot of you have been waiting for just as long, and it's because I wanted to do this properly.
That's sad.
So I took a lot of time reading, and I wanted you to enjoy
this cat's making you feel
and
better.
if you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a comment, because the engagement does help, and it shows that you guys prefer these longer Primarch videos. Also, if you like the video, remember to subscribe as it helps the channel. Special thanks to my channel members. Because of you, I'm able to support myself as well as my ability to hire editors and produce higher quality content.
Yes!
I have been making different strides to make this channel better. I am going to be starting to hire on more individuals.
I was gonna watch.
So
thank you for watching this with me, chat.
I can do that, and it's been so much easier.
Sad.
So thank you. for that.
I feel
and thank
like-
you to my editor, Alice. She
I feel
basically
defeated,
worked
you
on
know?
the front half of this video, and I couldn't thank her more for this. And if you want to support me, as well as the channel, and also, you know, gain access to additional or early content, then become a channel member today. Thanks once again for watching, and till next time, remember to be kind to those around you. Yeah, there is no end title joke. I thought it would kind of fuck up the tone.
Alright, that was good, chat. Thank you guys so much for watching that with me. I have, like, I feel more for Angron than I have before. You know, I just finished learning about, like, you know, all the, you know, all the spaceries and stuff like that. So I really only had a big overview of everyone and everything. Nothing, we haven't, like, gotten into, like, the butt crack of information, into the nitty gritty of it. So I'm glad I got to learn a little more about Angron, because, to be honest, chat, he seemed kind of like a fan favorite in my, in some of my comments, or, like, some of my, chatters talked about how Angron has the most tragic story. So I was quite curious learning about it, because, you know, I only thought he was an angry guy. Now I learned that he's a sad, angry guy. It's so sad. You know what, chat? I think we need to blame the Chaos Gods for fucking throwing him into some, like, fucked up version of Rome. Like, why did they do that? Why did they? I know my goat Nerdo didn't do that, so I'm gonna blame the other three. But yeah, I'm so happy you watched the video I requested. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for requesting it. I'm really happy I was able to get to it. Sorry it took me so long to get to this video, by the way, chat. I've been if you guys don't know, I've been doing a subathon, so I've been streaming every fucking day. I love it though. I love it, but I haven't had time to organize Warhammer React, so I'm glad we got to do more today, because these are super fun to learn about. Blame the gods and Logar. Yep, I'm blaming the gods and Logar. The Emperor as well. Yeah, what the fuck? I'm like, damn, this guy really just, like, he got his son back, and he's like, all right, good enough for me, and just, like, you know, went on with his day. But I mean, you know, I feel like there's a lot going on in Warhammer, though. There's, like, fucking war everywhere. That was cool though. Don't worry, you're having the videos out. Thank you. I hope you guys had fun watching this with me. And yeah, okay, I guess that's all I have to share about my thoughts. If you guys want to know about my opinions on how I feel about Angron and stuff like that, I'm looking forward to watching more lore videos. I'm looking forward to doing you know, more deeper dives into this universe. So yeah, thank you, chat, for recommending things for me. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Wow. Okay, there you go. We got the recording number. Yeah, that was fun, chat. I'm sad. This video wasn't that long. It was like an anime episode. It was like perfect. That was like, this is like a good amount to like watch. All right, chat. I think my collab is starting pretty soon. Okay. Oh, I'm ready. Thank you, cuties. Okay. All right, my collab is starting in a moment, so I guess we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. Let me go ahead and make a waiting room really quick. Time for coaching. It's okay. I don't. Chat, I suck at coaching. What's up, Mochi? What's up? Welcome into the channel. Welcome in, Casey there. Yeah, alright, thank you, chat, so much for watching Warhammer with me. We're gonna go ahead and deep dive into Night Rain now. If you guys don't know, I've been fucking playing Night Rain like a beast. I love the game. Okay, alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do this here. Okay. 3 cute girls will attempt to kill a dog. No, not a dog. To kill a dinosaur. There you go. Okay, cool. Alright, the waiting room is now up. Is there happy halfway mark? Thank you, chat. Thank you. We are 7 days into our subathon. It's been a whole week. It went by fast, didn't it, chat? I feel like personally for me, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've only been here for 2 days, chat. Genuinely, this timer has barely moved. Like, I feel like I'm repeating the same day over and over and over. But it's been really fun. It's been super fun. Snow, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome into the stream, Snow. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Also, chat, I have food with me right now. My my mom opened my door and handed me some food while we were doing the Angron react. So alright, thank you for the raid. Welcome into the stream, Snow. Welcome in. we lined up very quietly and respectfully to come over here. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you guys for the raid. Thank you. I hope you're doing well today, Snow. I'm so excited to play with you guys today. Night Rain, I'm really excited. Have you guys gotten a chance to... Oh, wait, no, this is your first time playing it, huh? I just realized because they were asking about the tutorial. I'm really quickly, I'm raiding into my other YouTube waiting room because I'm dual streaming right now. If anyone's interested, if anyone prefers the YouTube platform, we are there live too. Yeah, I go goodbye, YouTube. We're raiding you guys over now. Help, she's losing her mind. Help her. No, I'm not losing my mind. I don't have nails in my brain. Alright, I want to raid you guys out. Let's go.